Hope you can hear me okay. I'm sitting by the window. I've kind of rearranged my furniture here in the dining room because while I do have a lot of areas that I could record, they're not always the best with the light. So if you're a fellow YouTuber, let me know what you think about this because I've literally taken my phone around the house and my husband's like, I don't understand. We have this desk area and that desk area. And I said, yeah, but they look terrible because the lighting just isn't that great. So we are here live today. I thought it would be fun to sit down on this Sunday and plan our week ahead because I don't know if you're like me, you probably are. I'm a planner. I love planning. I like planning the week ahead. And even though I have most of these ideas in my mind, I have the list in my mind already. I want it down on paper. So I like seeing it. I like crossing it off. I do need reminders here and there because I'm busy and I have all these other tasks that I want to do. So I thought that would be kind of fun to sit down. This is kind of an impromptu live, or maybe you're watching it on the replay and that's good. We're gonna light a candle. I have my tea in my oversized mug. Like this thing is huge, but I really like tea. And I was thinking about that the other day because my family makes fun of me with this. And if you're a coffee drinker, you go back and refill your coffee. So I don't see why it's such a big deal to already start out with a bunch. So we're gonna have a little chat today about planning a little bit and about having control versus faith in our tasks and the progress that we're making on our goals and the what's the word I'm looking, the project that we're working on. So we'll talk a little bit about the differences in those after we plan. This is a little bit waxy, but we're gonna light our candle. It's a cozy day here where I am. I love this time of year. This is perfect for planning the week. And we have, is it gonna stay? It is, yay. We have cloudy weather. It's not raining. So I think I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna go out for a walk. My family is out. Hello, who is here? Thank you for being here. My family's out Christmas shopping for me. So I figured I would take advantage of this quiet time. And then a little bit later, we will talk a little bit more about kind of what we're doing with the week and how we're thinking about it. So I'm turning the page to the week, and one of the things, let me get rid of all my notes. I am an avid note taker. I have stickies everywhere. So we're planning the week, we're turning the page, and it's basically blank. I have a little bit of astrology notes here. This is my Oraline planner that I buy, and actually I got the 2026 Oraline planner, and hello from Turkey. That's awesome. Hello. And I'll show you my new astrology planner next week in a video. I haven't even unboxed it yet. So what I like to do is so first of all, I haven't done this before on a Sunday, but I thought it would be fun to plan the week ahead on a Sunday afternoon kind of thing, and maybe call it Sunday sit down or Sunday setup, like setup for the week. So let me know what you think about those. If you're on live or on the replay, I'm curious, like I liked the Sunday sit down. So what I'm going to do is grab your planner or just a notepad or a sticky pad, whatever you want to take notes on, but grab it. Think of 1 to 3 things that you want to accomplish this week. So that could be any area of your life. Maybe you want to sleep more. Maybe you want to get up 20 minutes early and go for a walk, or prep your meals, or do that task that will jumpstart your book if you're writing a book or something like that. But we're gonna just take kind of that space right now and take that time for ourselves and set us up for the week. And this doesn't mean that we're writing down 50 things, because if you're like me, I literally would love to get 50 things done, but it's not really feasible when you work and you have kids and you're on like a bunch of different schedules. So when I was doing this, it's funny, I looked at my month And I forgot that I have this meeting here and that meeting at night, and then a dentist appointment. And I'm like, oh yay, that's fun. My dentist, my dental hygienist is my sister-in-law, and she's the sweetest, most gentle person in the world, but I still don't like going. So I'm picking 3 goals this week, and if you're curious what I'm gonna write down, I have kind of 3 main areas of my goals. So one is YouTube. So here is this. I would like to do a couple shorts and a video, probably unboxing my R line this week. And then another one is I have my books out there on Shopify, my women's fiction books. And I haven't been writing very much lately, but I do want to keep those alive. So I kind of have my newsletter sign up that I'm driving people to. They get a free book and a free task list and everything if you sign up. It's thebusydreamer.com. If you're curious, you get a free little novella, a little taste of my writing. So I want to work a little bit on building my newsletter. And then the third thing is I'm coming out with my very own planner that's going to be similar to this. It's not an Orline planner, but it's a planner. I need to go through here. I have it printed out actually, and I don't even know the name of it yet. So I'm going to flip this over because that's not the name, but I need to read through all of this and update my my words in there. So those are my 3 main goals this week. I think they are really attainable, especially since my family's out in town right now and I can kind of read through that planner today. So and maybe even shoot a video today. But we're gonna take this space and do this for a minute. So if you have yours, I have my kitties here with me. So it is absolutely cozy with my tea and candle and everything. So I hope you have your things out and ready. So write down your first thing, your first task. Maybe you're doing a project that you're starting. Maybe you're in the middle of the project. I don't know about you, when I'm in the middle of the project is when it's the hardest. So if you're kind of in that messy middle, I just first heard that term a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the messy middle right now. That's great. And apparently I've heard it like 100 times since. So I think that's really funny. But write down your first thing. So mine is going to be videos. And I like to write a couple of like boxes next to it so I can check it off. And then I'm going to read my planner. My cat is going to, oh, you can't see my cat. She's like right here, right off camera. I'm going to read through it. And then I'm going to write newsletter because I have not been keeping up on newsletters throughout this time, but I sent one out last week and I'm planning on continuing that probably on Sundays because I think everybody sends out like a motivational Monday type thing. So your plans this week might have to do with the Christmas season coming up. I know that tonight I'm going to wrap some presents and I'm not going to wait until Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve. I'm not going to wait. So tonight we're going to do that. So in the future, probably next week, we will talk about 2026 planning. And I'm not sure if you like to do vision boards, but I normally do vision boards and I haven't done it for next year. I'm trying to think through vision boarding and making it more specific because sometimes I'm like, ooh, I'd like to go on a nice vacation and here's a picture of a beach and I would really like YouTube to grow. I'm almost to 1,000, so if you're new here, I'd love it if you subscribed, but then I put like a little YouTube thing and not very specific. So this next year in 2026, I want my very own planner to come out and I want some specific examples on my vision board for that. So if you're into vision boarding or you're new to it, this year's vision board I kind of made interactive and I want to do that again next year. I could touch and feel some things and I really liked that. That was fun. And I'm not going to say, I'm sorry about that because my daughter last Friday I went live and she was kind of sitting next to me and she said, when I was done. She said, "Oh, you did great, but oh my gosh, you said so many times." And I said, "Okay, something to work on. I will work on not saying I want to talk about not only planning for the week, which we kind of did, and you can kind of do in the background as I'm talking. Hopefully, if you're watching this is giving you the space to do it. But I also want to give you kind of some pep talks and a little bit of motivation. That's why we're here on this channel, is to get you some motivation and inspiration to go for your goals and your projects and your dreams, to allow you to dream. That sometimes when we get so busy, we forget to do that. I'm a busy working mom, and I'm out there running around in the car, dropping people off and going to work and doing deadlines and all of that. And for years, I kind of forgot to dream. I forgot about me and my aspirations in life, which was fine, because during that time, during that stage, my kids were really little, and I built that bond with them, and I would not change that for the world. Now they are 14 and 11, and I feel like it's a time where I can allow myself to dream again. And in doing this, I've discovered YouTube, I've discovered some of my passions again, and I'm trying to meld those together and still be, this busy, working, loving mom who's supportive to my kids, but also not forget about me again, because I've been enjoying revisiting my author side and writing. I've been enjoying building up YouTube and making my planner. That was totally new to me in 2025, was having this idea to make a planner and build it from the ground up. Had no idea how to do that. So I had this idea one day. The very next day, I saw an ad for something called Print School, and I checked it out, and the ideas just flowed. Like, they just kept going. So I went through the Print School, and I designed a planner last year, and then decided not to do it. I decided not to publish it, and then had this other idea for a planner that was the initial idea, and I went forward with that. And that's where I'm at right now, already setting it up way ahead of the other planners. So this one is sticking. This is what I really feel passionate about. And I feel like with that passion, sometimes we have this ultimate need for control. And I want to talk about having control versus faith or trust. And it doesn't have to be a religious thing. I did go to church today, and they did talk about peace. And that's kind of what I'm bringing this down to is, yes, we're busy. And yes, we might have these dreams and these projects and these goals. We might have the drive that goes behind them too. I definitely have that drive. I'm definitely motivated to work on my side projects. But then sometimes it can become over-consuming. And that's where I walk that fine line, that balance. I don't know if you have that also, but in having this and having these dreams and these goals and doing them, if we're not having a good time with them, I say this all the time, if we're not having that peace with it and that fun, then it can become kind of this over-consuming, kind of obsessive type of thing. I don't know about you, I get like that. This need to control it and control the outcome. And I feel like having that control, this need to constantly be doing and progressing and making progress and checking off lists, can steal the joy from it. It can make it so this once upon a time idea that we had, that we were really happy and excited about, that sometimes that control for it needs to be this way, I need to make this much progress, the outcome needs to be this way, it has to be that way, otherwise it's not successful, that sometimes that kind of control takes away the reason why we started that project and that task in the first place. So I wanted to talk about how I'm walking this line right now and trying to balance it with my life And I feel like, number one, noticing that we're having this struggle is the key, I think, because even if you're in it and you're like, oh, I'm making progress and it didn't come out like we thought it was going to. Like I came out with, hi Lightning, thanks for being here. Like I came out with my Shopify a week or two ago now and didn't really get any response from it. And that was the expectation, was to at least get a little bit of buzz, but almost nothing, like almost no signups to my newsletter. And that's okay. I kind of was walking that line between controlling it and letting it go and saying, okay, I'm controlling it right now. I've done everything that I can. And then at that point is when you kind of have the faith and trust and let go a little bit. So let's talk a little bit more about it. So when I say control, that means like we have all of our list, right? And we're doing our things. We're making progress. We're taking the actions. That's not what I'm talking about with the control. When we're working on our thing, we're working on our project, our task, we're in the zone and we're totally happy doing it, right? I know that when I sit down to read my planner and edit it and everything, and when I'm editing my books or editing my YouTube, I do a lot of editing. It's fun. Like I'm having a lot of fun. You're in the flow, you're in the zone, and you're enjoying it. You've done the work, like you're doing the work, and hopefully doing that work on your project is bringing you happiness. It's bringing you that sense of fulfillment, that sense of achievement, and that's why you're doing it. But then there comes a point where, I don't know about you, but I'm like this, where I want a certain outcome. And I think this is totally normal, right? We want it to have so many views or so many downloads, or we want to, if you know we're on an exercise program, we want to lose so much weight, and maybe, I know a lot of people read, try and hit that goal of whatever it is that you're doing. Usually it's like a number goal, right? It has a numerical value and you want to hit that goal. And if we don't hit it, that disappointment is real. We feel that disappointment. And I think that that's where the control comes in and kind of steals that joy that we had when we were doing the thing. We were doing all of our things in our tasks and our goal, and it was bringing us joy. And then when the outcome doesn't happen, it's disappointing. And I feel like faith or trust or letting go can step in at that moment when we've done all the things that we know that we can do. We have that control. We're writing things down, we're reading, we're editing. Those are the things that we have control over. But then once we've done those things, what I'm finding is when I don't have that element of faith in it, when the outcome isn't what I want it to be, I feel like I've done something wrong. We can feel that way, like we didn't do enough, we're not good enough, we're working on those things, and sure, we wrote the book, but is it really good? Like, or is it just that it wasn't good enough and that's why people didn't buy it or didn't connect with it? So I feel like having that letting go, I've also talked about this not yet kind of energy, that maybe the letting go allows it to take its time and lets it take the course that it's supposed to take. Like, I think my cats are running around. Okay, good. I'm the only one home and I hear footsteps and I think it's the cats running around. So I feel like I'm in this balance for sure right now. And that is that I'm working on my things. Okay, I have YouTube right now and I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers and I'm putting my videos out there. Maybe they're not the greatest. I'm trying my hardest with the time that I have and the knowledge that I have and everything. And then let's say I post something in a week, nothing happens. I don't get hardly any views or hardly any subscribers, but having put it out there, that was the work. And then letting it go allows me to feel good about that work, if that makes sense. So I've done the part that I can, and then I just let it happen. And it's one of these things that, at least for me, I have to, number one, acknowledge, like I said, and then number two, is practice it and practice that balance and say, okay, I know that I've done the work. I know that I've put myself into this, and that's kind of all I can do. And I can hope and trust and let it be, kind of let it be out there, and still be proud of yourself for doing that work. Because you guys, so many of us want to just sit on the couch and scroll or watch TV. And it's because that's easy to do, right? It's easier than following that dream. It is. But I like to come out here and try and say, easy and watching TV isn't going to make you feel accomplished in life. I'm just gonna say it. Like, scrolling on Instagram is not gonna make you feel like you've done something. And but at this, I know that we need some downtime. Trust me, I have like this a little kink in my arm right now that's like swollen. I have a bump, and then this one's been taken over, so this one hurts right now. And so resting is a hard thing. It is a hard thing for me sometimes, but sometimes we need that kind of mentality of the rest in order to grow. And I feel like this control versus faith is where some of us are at right now. This is where I'm at right now with my goals. So I like to come out and tell you where I'm at, because it's not all, oh yay, I checked everything off of the list and everything's going great. Let's just move on now and let's keep going. We kind of need to pause sometimes and say, I did that work and that's great. And maybe the outcome isn't what I want it to be right now, but that's okay, because it will happen. And having that belief and that faith that it will happen, adding that part of the equation to the work is what's going to keep you going. And that is what is keeping me going. I've done the work. I've done my part of it. And then I have that trust to it that it's going to, I guess, have the outcome that I want, because having an outcome kind of is why you're doing it. Whether that's an internal feeling that you want to have, or you want to reach X amount of people, having that outcome and expectation is totally fine. I'm not saying that that's not good at all, but worrying about it and stressing about it is what kind of kills that happiness that you got from doing it. So I feel like having that control makes that disappointment, let's say if it doesn't happen the way that you want, and you're having that control in it, it kind of makes that disappointment hurt a little bit more. So this is something I'm practicing right now, is bringing the faith that maybe it's not the outcome that I thought, but being proud of the achievements that we're finishing a project, or that we're continuing day after day. That in and of itself is progress, and that is an achievement. Showing up for yourself, and then believing that the work that you've done is going to pay off in whatever way that you want, whatever way that you're thinking of, or maybe even something better, you never know. But having that kind of belief in it makes the process so much more enjoyable. I hope you agree with this. Let me know if you do. And I feel like a couple more things just to wrap up here is that it is a balancing game, this control versus faith, and recognizing that maybe you are having a little bit too much control of it, a little bit too much worry and stress instead of that faith, recognizing it and adjusting And this is something that I need to do constantly. I need to adjust, adjust, adjust. And that's why I kind of thought about this topic today, because I thought, you know, we all need reminders to maybe think, okay, nobody signed up for my newsletter to get that free story. What else can I do on my end? And not in a stressful way, not in this worrisome kind of, like I'm saying, the control way, but another way to solve that piece of the puzzle, and adjusting kind of that mentality and that energy that we're bringing towards our projects, so they don't become miserable, right? Like, we don't want our projects that we're working on to be miserable. We want them to be enjoyable, and to celebrate. I'm bad about this. I don't know if you're good about celebrating, but I check something on the list, off of the list, and then I go on to the next one. What else can I do? What else can I get done today? And I think that celebration is something that can be as simple as, oh my gosh, I did that, and good job. And it doesn't have to be completing the project. Let's say you're a writer and you came up with the Terrence Harvey. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to see you, even though it's just one-sided. But let's say that you're a writer and you wrote your first page. That is a celebration, especially because getting started is kind of the hardest thing. Or you've written a scene and you've written a chapter or something, and no, you're not done with the whole book. But getting it to that point is an accomplishment. And having that kind of celebration in the middle of a project keeps you going. It keeps you going. And I kind of talk about celebrating partially because I'm bad at it, because like I said, I move on to the next thing. But I hope that this kind of shines some light for some. Wow, I said that and my light just got way bright in here. So that was kind of funny, but I hope that this discussion kind of lets you look at your own kind of mentality and your way of coming at a project and completing your own tasks. Like, how do you do that? Are you trying for, like, desperately trying for this outcome? And if you are, I'm not saying that's bad, because we all want the outcome. I'm like that too. But are you doing it in a way that kind of ruins it? Like, is it ruining your happiness in going for that thing? And could you instill a little bit of trust and a little bit of faith, a little bit of that mentality that if it doesn't work out right now, that it's just the not now energy, that it will happen if you keep going and you keep believing in yourself. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. If you've joined me live, thank you very much. If you watch it back, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're working on. Next week, I think we're going to continue to do this. I really like this Sunday sit down. And I want to talk a little bit about dreaming about 2026, because I know I say that we can start a goal, we can start a task at any time of the year. It can be a Tuesday at 2 o'clock. We can start something. It doesn't have to be a new week or a new month or a new year. But having said that, starting the new year, as you know, is fun. It's fun to look at your 12 months that you have all this time to do your projects, and you can plan it. And I want to plan with you. I definitely have a way that I plan for the year, and I have a lot of big stuff coming up in 2026 that first of all, it looks like we might reach 1,000 subscribers before 2026, which is super fun and exciting. But we want to continue that and continue kind of spreading this way of thinking that, yes, we're busy, but we can still go for our goals and dreams. And even if it's just one step at a time, that's all we can do. I know that I say sometimes I'm a multitasker, but not, because we only have two hands. We can only do so much. Two hands, one brain. So I'm not an octopus. I wish I could be doing the dishes and the laundry at the same time, but we can only work on one thing at a time and one step at a time. And I think that we'll plan our 2026. I will share a little bit more about what I'm working on and bring you into that, because I am going to need your help with some naming. So I'm just going to end with that little nugget. If you do want a sample of my writing, you can go to thebusydreamer.com and sign up to my newsletter. You get a free novella and a free task list with that. And you can see if you like my writing. It's just supposed to be fun and light and easy stories to read. So thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video, and probably a little bit more often live, because it's a little easier to come live and just have a sit down chat. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.